YouTube, what it do, loved ones? You know the motto. If you can, after the story, go over there, hit me with a like, which is just thumbs up, and that'll let me know I'm kicking my stuff. This right here, I had a viewer comment and ask me, do I got any Raymond Crip stories? And I said, thought to myself, and I say, yeah, but it's tied in with a whole scenario on how I got introduced to having to bang against some Raymond Crips on me. And this time, it's not the 10 deuces that reside in Inglewood, California. But now I had to take it out of my community and go to LA and kind of show I was with the business, homie. So anyway, how this whole get down come apart, homie, is this early 90s. And at this particular time, we hanging on the street called Eucalyptus inside our turf, inside the Inglewood neighborhood Power Rules. And at this time, it's a few homies out from our turf, homie, reputable homies and shit like that, dudes that's in development going into be the next big homies and shit at that time. So anyway, I'ma leave them dudes out of it and just speak up upon myself. So once again, it's early 90s and our block is Eucalyptus. And at this time, it's an OG homeboy that wound up moving to our turf by the name of Kricket, BIP from DLB, Different Lane Bloods, homie. And at these times, homie, early 90s, G Don moves will move to any community that these dudes pleased, especially if they didn't gave this B all they had, you know what I'm saying, all they had and all they can give it. These dudes had entitlements to move different places. But in my young mind, in a homie that's just not fully laced, it's just some things you just don't do, homie. Just because it happened right here don't mean you can do it upon these homeboys right here, homie. So anyway, this story is a learning experience as well, homie. So anyway, to go back into the story in these 90s, other OG B-Dogs that had pulling this blood thing and was down in other B-Dog hoods, down on the street against, the Crips and Ops and shit like that, and was down in them jailhouses. They was like big homies to all young Don moves from any B-Dog hood. An OG homeboy back then when I was coming up, if blood was banged out, was stabbed and pushing in line, he can check you about some shit, even if he ain't from your turf. He can check you and then tell you, nigga, get on the phone and call some of your homeboys, nigga, and let them know such and such said it or whatever. These are homies with rank, and this blood shit was pushing back then. So anyway, OG Kricket, BIP, DLB, he moves to the neighborhood Power Rules, homie. So he's serving, homie. So I'm serving too. But I'm not knowing the whole guidelines on not to be grimy to homies, not to cross homies, not to mistreat homies. A nigga young-minded not knowing you could just ask certain homies and niggas, and if you down and homies like your style, they'll give it to you. They'll bless you with it, homie. So anyway, as I'm in my turf, I see the OG homeboy Kricket making money and shit, homie. Getting his money. So in my mind, homie, I'm thinking, blood, I'll jack the homie spot. I'll jack blood spot, shut blood spot down and get all this extra money. Blood, this our hood anyway. But I ain't really I understand it, but I'm not really taking heed to the pecking order of this Damu shit. The shit that I'm thinking about doing can get a nigga killed, can get one of my homeboys killed, just can bring about a gain of repercussions, homie. So anyway, I'm at this point like blood in the hood serving. Blood, I'll shut that spot down, blood, and get all this hood money. So this particular day, homie, I'm in a Ben Davis, brown Ben Davis, little zip-up shirt, tan khakis with some tan chucks, you know what I'm saying? You know, coordinated, banged out, G'd up, homie, with some cherry strings in the chucks. So I'm like, homie, I'm gonna go over here to the homie, the OG homeboy Kricket from Devil Lane spot, and I'm gonna big the homie Dorian. This is how I'm thinking in the young mind. I'm gonna big the homie Dorian to his spot and ramshack his spot and try to take some work or whatever. So anyway, homie, I go. He wound up getting an apartment right across the street from a building that we was hanging in that we called the I think we either called it the penitentiary because it was like leveled out like a penitentiary. The OG homeboy Killer Wack called it the penitentiary. So anyway, homie, I go across the street to where OG Kricket stayed from DLB, and I call myself kicking the big homeboy door in. Like I said, I'm unaware of high principles. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing immature stuff. So like I say, this is about to be a learning experience for me. So I go over there to the homeboy spot and I try to big his door in. Boom, boom, boom. I'm trying to get up in there. At these times, we got neighbors like, you know, sometimes they be in these hoods, homie. Some of them might have been in fear. Couldn't really get the money to transition up out of high spot, high street or something like that. So no one calls the law. So I'm boom, boom, boom. I can't get up in the door. You know, I'm young. I ain't got all that strength like that. So me and my young burnt out time and age, I get on. I don't think to wipe the door up or none of that shit. Not thinking I left a footprint on the door, on the homie door, that I didn't violated this spot. So now I go across the street. I'm posted up. I'm just chilling and shit. I ain't telling niggas what I done done. I'm just chilling. So all of a sudden, like probably 2 hours later, I see OG Kricket pull up, DLB BIP to the OG homeboy, soldier homeboy from Devil Lane. I see the homie pull up. But like I said, I ain't tripping mentally that I did some messy ass shit by leaving my footprints on the homeboy door. So now the homie take measurements, you know, he looking and shit. So he like, Chucks, this gotta be a nigga banging. This blood, gain of blood's hanging across the street from me. And this one homies had rank, and like I said, once again, an establishment in this beat off thing. So a nigga didn't really, certain homies didn't have to call a million homies like, blood, these niggas did this. Some homies felt like they were so down that and had so much pull and did so much in these streets along with other homies that these niggas can confront a battle or confront a incident just by themselves, homie. You know, soldier niggas. That's how we did it. So we come across the street like blood, yeah, blood on bloods, nigga on lane, blood DLB. One of y'all little homeboys, one of y'all homeboys, you know, try to big my spot in, blood. That's foul. Bloods don't get down like that, blood. Wooty whoopty whoop. So while he talking and scanning niggas, homie, he looked down at my feet. I happen to have some chucks on. He like, yeah, why you woofing? He like, yeah, blood in the hat. You know, a nigga had some chucks on. Blood, it had to be some small feet. And blood looked, and it's like, blood, that's blood foot. Blood was solid, let me be your foot. Blood make me lift up my chuck and everything. So we go on like, blood, y'all let this little nigga blood disrespect my spot. Bloods don't get down like that. Blood, wooty wooty woo. He go big, and at this time, you know, these is big homies. And you know, DLBs, that's a legendary blood hood. So they got a lot of legendary homies. So homies is entitled to speak their voices, homie. So the homie going in on me. So he checking me, telling niggas they need to fuck me up and all that shit, telling my homeboys that. So he like, blood, he go on one, blood this, blood that. So he get on. So now later on that night, the homie he come swerve around in his car and look for me and grab me after he go big. He grabbed me. Get in the car, blood. So I get in the car with him. He asks me, do I got a cannon? I tell him no. So he has one. He gives me one. So he like, blood, come on, blood. Same way you big my door in, you disrespect me. Blood, go through some rips like that, blood. You know, I'm going to take you to who the DLBs get into it with, which is the 120 Raymonds, homie. And so I ain't really hipped about how them dudes be by the liquor store, by the Helen Keller Park, and in little side streets around it. I ain't really hip because I'm from Inglewood. So while the homie put me in the car, he like, nigga, you gotta jack one of these niggas, you know, get cracking, nigga, because you can't just do a dime move like that without doing nobody else like that. Nigga, bloods don't get down like that. So anyway, to dig into the story, the homie take me to LA, homie, young nigga, and try to have me jump out. You know, not try to have me, made me jump out and try to, you know, rob some niggas back, homie. But like I said, he took me out, banged down. I ain't really from LA, so once I get out there and jump out, bang down on some niggas wind up giving it to me up by the cut, by a liquor store and some apartment. Bow, 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 homie. So I don't really know where it's coming from, homie. So I draw down all like this. The big homie yell, blood, get in the car, blood. So we been a couple corners. And we wound up cutting back out to Inglewood where the homie stayed at. But the whole lesson I learned out of that was, nigga, don't do nothing grimy to a homie if you ain't got no heart to do nothing grimy to the next, homie. And then that was a lesson that let me know you don't rob bloods, other homies. You don't jack other homies. And you don't just be foul to other homies. Rather, how other dudes might carry themselves, you always want to keep your bloodism straight with the rest of the blood community, homie. So anyway, after that altercation in the homie scene, I was just young, not super laced, misguided. The homie snatched me back up after he brought me to the hood the next day. He came across the street and got me, took me back to his house across the street from where the homies hanged out in my turf and fed me, homie. He started feeding me food, lacing me, and just, you know, actually helping me if I needed extra help to keep my sack going, keep myself going, homie. And the homie always paid acknowledgement to me, homie, and taught me how to be a good homie. So, you know, 89 on up, G stuff, not ye stuff. And I'm just sending history on when I got down foul, unlaced on the homeboy, and the homeboy, like I said, made me get out there and prove my loyalty that I'm just not shady against homies. I can get shady against anybody else, homie. So the moral of this story is love the homies. Don't take nothing from the homies. Don't rob the homies. And like the homeboy Kricket said, BIP from DLB, blood you ask, I'll give it to you, homie. And yeah, that's just a story. And ever since then, when the homie stayed in the turf, he like adopted me, took me and looked out for me and loved me like I was a homeboy from DLB. But that's how Bloods did it all around. If they seen something in a certain homie, whether if he was from your hood or not, a homie would take you in and bless you, homie. And that's kind of how a lot of homies turn different hoods or hoods intermingled to have ties and connections, homie. Shout out Kricket, BIP to the big homeboy, BIP blood. I love you, homie. You'll be forever missed out here in this B car, homie. I'm out.